So I'm going to show you how to make the fringe now. We did our cast on and we did it with two colors. So I've got a green, blue underneath and my cream above. And I placed a stitch marker, hanging stitch marker, on the first stitch of the round to indicate that this is the first of the round so I don't get confused. And then I have my tails coming through the middle of my work. And just as we cast on, and I said you should be able to see dashes, there's the dashes. So I've just finished the first round of the fringe, which is a purl round. And now we're ready to make the second round, which is the second round of the fringe. So we're going to turn our work. So we are now going to be looking at those dashes. So we're looking at the inside of our work, and our working yarn is actually going to be coming from the left needle, which seems wrong, but that's how you make the fringe. And we're going to do 2 rows to make the fringe. So this first row, we're going to go into the stitch as to knit, and then you're going to wrap the yarn counterclockwise away from you 3 times around your index finger and draw those 3 loops through, and then gently slide them off your finger. And I'll again, so there's my 3 loops, which when you do a fringe of 3 wraps, it makes 2 fringe loops. So now I'm going to take the working yarn behind those stitches. I've gone into the next stitch, and I'm going to wrap again, 1, 2, 3, draw those 3 yarns through, and sometimes I just gently move the prior fringes just to make sure they're going to stay secured. Again, I'm going to come from behind, go into the next stitch, take the working yarn behind the 2 fringe loops, wrap 2, 3, draw them through to finish the knit stitch, and gently pull them off. So you don't want to wrap too tightly, so otherwise you're not going to be able to get it off your finger. And the other note is the further you draw your finger apart, the longer your fringe loop's going to be. So you don't want to be super close, but you kind of want to be a consistent distance away from your needle. And so see how I kind of like reset those? Don't want to lose anything. It takes a little time and a little patience to do the fringe. Yarn to the back of the fringe I just made. I'm going to finish the first 8 on this needle, and then I'm going to stop and tidy it up, those stitches up, so you can see how we tidy the fringe loops up. So again, I kind of separate, draw the working yarn behind, wrap 2, 3, draw the yarn through, and you end up with 3 wraps around the needle and 2 fringe loops on the end. 2 more, and then I'll show you one more thing I'm going to do before I move on to the next step. 2, 3. And one last one. And then we're going to secure those fringe loops with our free needle. And I'm going to do that by taking my free needle, and I'm just going to gently thread it through all 16 fringe loops that we made. And then I'm going to pull on them. So you can see, if I pull down, I'm going to push those knots down towards the needle, and that will help set those stitches. So now I'm going to finish the round, and then I'll show you the third round of the fringe.